special Friday edition of the Barstool Yak. We have a jam-packed house. We have the Wonton Don.
Hey.
Owen. Brandon,
Hello.
who made me host. We have me. We have KB. We have Little Sasquatch. Chad is furious about that. They do not want you in here. And we have LD the man. LD the knee driver.
Yep, you can just call me Nate.
Nate.
Yeah, just Nate.
Nate.
Not Nate. Yeah, Nate.
Is his mic on?
No, you gotta turn your mic on.
Okay.
No, don't worry. Now, ready?
mistakes.
And we are here with
Okay.
LD.
So this morning,
That's me.
I was on my morning bike ride on my electric city bike.
How far do you
going
go?
down the Hudson,
Mm-hmm.
probably a mile in, and I see a man, an undeniable man, cannot mistake him for anyone else, just peering over the dock with binoculars in his hand, and I said, "That's fucking LD, the knee driver."
You look like Bailey Carlin with a gigantic.
Yak
With a gigantic
legend folklore.
Yeah,
And
should we catch the people up on, new listeners
Okay.
who LD is?
Mm-hmm.
So last Super Bowl, February,
Two
two Super Bowls ago, February
No, the last one, right?
No.
yeah,
2020.
Okay, yeah. Last year.
LD calls into the Yak with this elaborate offer to drive me to Miami using nothing but his knees. And I was obsessed with him ever since. Everyone was fascinated with him. I didn't do it because I didn't want to die.
Little
Not for driving reasons, for other reason. I was afraid of you. And then you continue to send in highlight videos of you pulling off what types of turns?
Some inverted U-turns, some Z-turn maneuvers, some things like that.
You dropped an S-turn about 21 hours ago, I believe, right?
Oh yes, very complicated. It was meant to be a Z-turn, but a Z-turn's a little more stricter. An S-turn, you get those curves involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the nature of an S.
It's a softer Z.
Now,
The Yak account just tweeted out your old video.
Yes.
If you want to watch that, get caught up on who he is.
and we were going to have LD in earlier, but tragedy struck.
Oh yes.
And you being tragedy, you were struck.
You got pulverized by a moving vehicle.
Yes, an SUV, as a matter of fact. I don't want to undersell myself.
This
Just
was
nailed.
in Florida?
No. This was in South Jersey, the Jersey Shore over the summer.
Is his mic working?
But something's wrong with his mic.
Oh, mine.
Okay, we're gonna
LD, this is Avery.
Hey Avery, how's it going, man?
just make sure the cords are good.
No problem.
Plugging that in. Now we're plugging that one in. Oh, that sounded like something.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I don't know.
We don't.
tell.
Keep talking again.
Hello.
I think
Yes.
that's better.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
better, yeah.
Yes, I got absolutely plastered by an SUV over the summer down at the Jersey Shore.
And what was the SUV?
I forget, honestly. My mind's a little fuzzy.
Sure,
It
understandable.
may have been a Saturn, I think. I'm not even sure if they
yeah.
make SUVs. It was something sizable,
Do
though.
they still make Saturns?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this, Brandon Walker. There were not brake marks at the scene of the crime. That means this man did not try to stop. LD got taken full speed, and if he had not leapt onto the hood of that car heroically, may I add, I might not be standing here talking to you guys today.
You were in the hospital
You
for
were
a good
barely.
while.
I think you tweeted a video of yourself in the ambulance.
Oh, yeah.
And then
No.
you continued to tweet while you were on the verge of possible
Yes.
paralyzation.
Listen, LD has a very active mind. His mind goes a mile a minute, and he needed to distract himself. He needed to calm himself down, because if I was thinking about my big toe on my right foot at the time, which was facing the wrong direction and hanging limp, I would have started to go crazy. So instead,
Well.
I think I immediately tweeted out.
Okay. Instead of going crazy, you did what?
Instead of being an insane person, I think I immediately tweeted out, "Somebody tell KB that my knees are okay," a stranger who I hadn't met at the time. And then I just started updating people in the ambulance. The paramedics were very confused. They did not understand what I was doing, why I was talking in selfie mode to a camera. But, they ended up taking me into the hospital, and then for about 2 to 3 hours, this gentleman, LD does not remember his name, he does not want to disparage this man, just tried to jam LD's toe back into the socket, just raw, like no painkillers, no drugs.
Do toes have sockets?
Maybe. I mean, it was dislocated. It was out of something, I imagine. you
How's
know?
that toe today?
It's good. It's getting there. It's a little swollen still, but I'm getting there.
But the knees are unscathed.
The knees are fine. Yes. As I told you, Nick, my knees got much more banged up about a year and a half ago when I almost fell 5 stories on a fire escape.
Okay,
But
wait.
he only fell 3.
Yeah.
You've never gotten hurt driving with your
3
knees.
is almost 5.
No, Donnie,
Damn close. Pretty much, pretty comparable.
Donald, I tell people all the time that my record with my hands, I've gotten in 3 accidents. Nothing major, fender benders. Sometimes I'm the one getting struck, The knees, it's 0. Never gotten into one single accident with the knees. That's impressive.
So it's safer for you to drive with your knees as opposed to anything else.
Brandon Walker, I tell that to people all the time.
I have to call my whole name out.
Sorry,
Now,
I kind of talk
The knee
funny.
driver getting in an accident, not at his own fault. There's a level of irony.
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette couldn't
she
have
could
cooked
not.
that.
She could not.
No, it
Now-
rivals Morissette.
LD, there have been some rumors floating around. Did you weave through a funeral procession as of late?
Yeah, okay. Well, that part was not, when you film yourself when you drive, you get into some unsavory moments. I once got into a full-out argument with a man while recording a video for my Twitter, and I posted it as is, with me and the man shouting at each other. But yes, I did. Sometimes I don't realize a funeral procession's a funeral procession until it's too late. Maybe these guys are just going slow with their lights on hazards because they're having engine
And they all have
trouble.
matching flags on their cars.
There was a
It could be the
couple
president.
flags.
Gigantic
Thank
station
you.
wagon.
And who's the president to get to drive ahead of me unabated? If
Mr.
I got
President.
somewhere to be, well, true.
But you're more than just a voluptuous pair of knees.
That is true. I'm a human being. I have a heart. I have a brain behind
You're
these appendages.
you work in the film industry.
Yes.
And you were when you originally called, you were saying all this stuff about like working on an Argentinian film. I think you were just doing a me to me, but you were being serious.
So KB, I respect. I'm a man of bits, certainly, and I have a few to reveal soon. But
It's gotten out of the third person.
yeah,
No, he goes back and forth.
LD does. Owen knows me. I love Owen. But yes, KB. I see. The thing is that I knew on that first call I needed to only tell the truth because I didn't want to be, Brian Williams online. I didn't want to be exposed as this fraud. So no, I was working on an Argentinian screenplay at the time. Movie has not been made. Has not turned into anything, believe it or not. Corona had something to do with it. Maybe the fact that I only speak English and was writing a Spanish movie had something to do with it. But
So you were writing it.
Yes.
And do you speak any Spanish?
No.
Okay.
They were going to train. So LD,
Were you hired to write this?
the payments, LD got paid once a lump sum, but
So can I get a 20? Can I get a 20?
Go ahead.
So you were not hired as part of a movie in Argentina.
yeah.
You wanted to write a movie and you made it Argentinian by choice?
No, the opposite. LD was hired by Argentinians to write a movie in Spanish. They wanted me. Okay, so America's the biggest producer of entertainment in the world,
Correct.
right?
Damn
Yes.
straight.
Biggest
Bollywood.
exporter. So LD's also a big hit internationally. LD speaks an international language that everyone understands, and that's the language of love, right? And so these people, like internationals, they do love me. They bring me in quite often. And this, I ended up meeting somebody, and they love the American style. That's what they want with entertainment. They write me a big American movie, American comedy. So this guy just, he talked to me. He was an international pop singing sensation. He has a Mexican City Kids' Choice Awards, the Orange Blimp, the Kaleidoscope. So he's legit. He was on like a South American version of Degrassi.
That is legit.
That's how you're legit.
checks out.
That's
I'm
how,
impressed.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So he just starts talking to me about writing this movie. He wants a rom-com, and LD cracked his knuckles and just dove right in. I asked him, I don't speak the language. He said, we'll translate it. It's fine.
How did he find you?
We were in an acting class together.
Wow.
He was with me the night that I plummeted down the fire escape, and that was part of the problem. Is I tried to, as a bit, like surprise my friends. I didn't tell them what time I was coming over, and none of them were English speakers from the first language. So I fall 3 stories, clambering down this fire escape, sort of like a what's that movie where you Final Destination? So it was
Right.
almost like
Where
one of those-
everybody dies.
Yeah.
And
So when I finally land, I'm 4 stories below them, and I'm just screaming, "Help! Help! I've fallen!" because they didn't even know I was there. But I landed right outside a man's window. He was watching Netflix with his girlfriend at the time, and his head turned around. I'll never forget this. I'm bleeding out of my leg. I can see my bone. Bone didn't break, but
the
leg
cut.
was-
Yeah,
How
the
many
wound.
near-death experiences do you average per year?
So what's funny is I would have told you over the first 26 years of my life, like none. But in the last 2 years, I've had 4. And
Now, were you subconsciously like suicidal, or what is this? Yeah.
I'm a sad guy, sure, but suicide's a bit much. I'm here on the yak, you know.
You're
That's
doing
fine.
well. You do write.
Yes.
I checked out your website today.
Mm-hmm.
aridewithld.com.
Yes, ridewithld.com.
And I liked the tabs at the top. Who is LD?
Mm-hmm.
LD TV and HD.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And what was the other tab?
It's the man behind the knees.
That's right.
Because people do need to remember that, you know what I mean? I'm a human being. I have arms as well, which is a point of contention that I always bring up. I'm so talented with my lower body, people think I'm armless.
But you write about things. I saw you wrote about the AEW.
Yes.
I saw you wrote about baseball.
Mhm.
And your most recent blog is about glue sticks.
Yes. Has anyone ever noticed you graduate from middle school and you never see a goddamn glue stick again for the rest of your life?
So that's pretty much the extent of it. But you expanded this to 2,000 words.
Oh, yeah, I had a lot of takes about glue sticks. I advised the industry on how they could try to maybe make the glue stick a more popular form of adhesive for all ages. The stapler's not as fun as the glue stick.
Certainly not.
Oh my God, the glue sticks are great, and we're giving them to kids who try to eat them. If you gave each of us a glue stick right now, I don't think one of us would try to eat it.
The purple ones look okay.
The glue
Sure.
stick, I think the glue stick is fun for maybe the first 10 uses, 10 swipes. But after that, then it becomes like sticky and it's all over the
The
place.
cap,
and it dries
there's a
up.
lot of residue.
Sure.
I don't use glue.
Yeah, I don't use
Like
glue.
That is a
Bottle
very
use
good.
glue
Yeah,
a
that is
long
a very
time.
good
Definitely.
point. I haven't used glue since middle school.
Well,
100%.
That was part of my marketing campaign, is that we need to make staples appear to be bad for the environment. We need to start lobbying. We need to start pouring money into the glue lobby. We got to start making staples out to be sort of a menace to society.
So to be pro glue, you're going to be anti-staple.
Yeah, Brandon Walker, that's what happens. You have to draw lines in the sand sometimes.
LD, thank
know?
you. Thank
Staples
you.
can be removed, though. Don't you think glue's a bit permanent?
Depends on
Yeah,
the glue.
but maybe that says a lot about this society of ours, Nicholas. Maybe we need to be a little more serious about what we're doing. Maybe we need to, act with a little more permanence instead of flip-flop.
You're absolutely
But
right.
If
If
you
you
I
are
made 4 kids.
If you are pro glue, then you are anti-horse, right? Because isn't glue made from their hooves?
So I thought about that, and Donnie, I'm a little ashamed of you to be attacking the American horse farm as vigorously as you do. These people need
fucked
to.
up.
I
These
feel like
people
he's
need to make a
defending
living.
the American horse farm.
Well, Brandon Walker, you don't think the American horse farm makes their money off of the glue industry?
Oh, so you're placing the value of the humans who run the farm ahead of the horses who comprise the farm.
Yes, when you talk about the beef, LD doesn't care if his chicken's free range or not. It's still dying a gruesome death one way or the other. I don't think it's giving it all that much of an advantage.
Sure.
Now, I don't want to kill horses. I want to make that very. I actually would like to stop this where we may, because now I'm kind of talking about horse death a little too much. I kind of see a.
That was the one thing you said
Yeah.
you didn't want to talk about today.
Coming into this, I said the only question off limits was horses. So.
Do you want to do
No, I've tried raw horse. It's
Yeah,
delicious.
fuck
really?
Buffalo.
Yes. In Japan, it's a delicacy of sorts. They serve it sashimi style, and it was honestly one of the better things I ate.
Really?
There. Yeah.
It's the ultimate
What
loophole to
breed?
be able to call something
Delicacy.
disgusting
I was just
a
going to
delicacy.
say that. Yeah.
It's very
I feel like you
easy.
can get away with a lot
Oh,
of things.
no,
if it's
no,
a
this-
delicacy.
This is a cultural delicacy.
Yes, and what and
Especially if it's like a different race culture.
that or just like I could shit on a plate and just be like this in scat culture. This is a delicacy.
In the Tyranny house,
This
this
is
is
absolutely
Nordic, yeah.
LD, when did you start knee driving?
about age 17 when I started driving. Period.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a quick adjustment. When you have magic like that in you, it's got to find a way out one way or the other.
I'm gonna do like a sway in the morning type thing where I
Mhm.
put you on the spot and ask you to do a knee freestyle. Maybe
Sure.
adjust your mic.
Well, I can let me try to get into a position here without.
There they are.
Here they are, folks.
Yeah,
I mean, it's more of the chair problem, I think, than anything else.
Don't you
It's just-
think shorts would have been a strong play for you with your knee debut today?
So I thought so. I didn't expect it to be this hot. To be honest, my mom criticized me for wearing Nike sneakers. She thought this I was coming into Merrill Lynch to talk to tax attorneys or something. I don't know. She wanted me to be very fancy looking. I just thought pants. I did pop the knees out bare for Nick
He did.
earlier. He got a
Nick got a
nice
glimpse.
close.
They
How'd they look?
there's divots in
Yeah.
the top. They're worn. They're calloused. They're strong.
Yeah.
Grippy.
LD,
Could you
can you
catch
pop
a
him up
break?
again so I could zoom in on him? I just
Sure.
want to get a better shot for the
Yeah,
people.
get
I
those
do.
things
I
up.
saw a video the other day on my timeline.
Hold on, let me bare a little skin for
Oh
you
my
guys.
gosh.
there.
Whoa.
There they are. Now you
Whoa.
can see the scars below are
Yeah.
from the
The fire escape.
the fire escape.
Looks like Bill Parcells a little bit.
And then the knees though,
Mhm.
not a mark on him.
No. I mean, you got to take care of, what God gave you. I can't. Sometimes I like to ice my knees at night, similar to Patrick Ewing towards his latter years with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes some aloe butter. You kind of work it into the back knee crevice there. You gotta make sure that the muscles are nice and relaxed.
You also, I don't want to spoil anything. We were talking to some cameras earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You said you've been catching some flack from the knee driving community.
Oh boy, guys.
I saw that coming.
I mean, guys, when you aim for the king, you better not miss. Like I'm sure that Jerry Rice gets a lot of hate from the wide receiver community. Like
I don't think.
I mean,
It's reverent.
Sure, but like it's just these people. They come at LD. Oh, my friend Todd in college. He used to be able to turn onto I-95 with his knees. He's better. What do I got to do, folks? What does LD need to do? He's gone hours in the car with his hands as limp as the day they were born. Like I don't know what I got to do to prove this. I've parallel parked. I've done U-turns. I can go. I'm confident. Like, and that's the other thing. I get a lot of like, oh, LD, do you think you could drive to St. Louis knees only? I could drive to California and back with my hands not touching the wheel one time.
And you're from Jersey, but you went to school in California.
Yes. I'm a former Baron, BCC. I graduated from the Burlington County Community College in South Jersey and then transferred to a far more prestigious community college out in Santa Barbara. And, just if you're going to be taking easy classes, doing nothing, would you rather do it in South Jersey or in Santa Barbara, California? It's a pretty easy. I called it my semester abroad, but
Do people transfer community colleges often?
no.
I did 3 times.
There we go. Brandon knows what I'm
Yeah.
talking
You transferred
about.
community college.
Oh yeah, get closer to home.
Yeah, but it's funny. Some people went to community college really to hit the books hard and to get on to the next stage of their life and to save money. And LD did it quite the opposite. He did it just to find himself, to take a few classes. Community college, very low pressure environment, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
There you
No,
go.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And so, did you find yourself in California?
I did. You know what I mean? I discovered mostly that California is better than New Jersey. I was talking to you earlier, actually, Nick. The main discovery I made is that from a dating perspective, I'm much better off in New Jersey or moving to the Midwest because I've been out to Wisconsin before, and LD is like a New Jersey 5, a Wisconsin 8, and like a California 2. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Although, but I will say, now that I'm thinking about it, there was like an exotic quality. I was like the only Italian person out, and LD's not Italian from Italy. And my parents are Italian, but you grow up in South Jersey and you're a dime a dozen Balgone, and then you go out to Santa Barbara and suddenly these girls are just like, oh my God, this paisan. He said water. Like, look at him. He eats pizza. Like,
I'm trying to find the video now, but a few nights ago, I saw on my timeline, and I think it might be your soulmate. It was a woman eating an entire seafood boil with her toes.
yes. So
She didn't have arms, though, did she?
No.
okay. So yeah, that's my big. LD has talented toes as well. Believe it or not, my toes were actually
I believe
famous
it.
to my friends before my knees. I can light a lighter with my toes. I can write my name with them.
Speaking of which,
Where's
Could we get a lighter?
can we get Glenny balls and a lighter in here, and we can have a competition? Glenny can't do
can
it
get
with
it?
I don't
his
think
hands.
Glenny's here.
if
He
he's
was here
not
yesterday.
I don't think he's
so-
here.
Yeah, he put in his day. Does anybody have a lighter on them?
I'm sure I could go
Troops
find
is
Can we
here.
put you on the
Troops
spot?
is here. There's
Yeah,
a
you
lighter
can.
somewhere.
I will just
I gotta
say.
go pee. I'll bring back a lighter.
Sure. I do.
Well,
I do
can-
have that big
can-
toe injury, but I should be fine. Still.
Oh,
it just
have-
might take me an extra
Have
second.
you, have you
Can
lit
you
a lighter
go
since the
retrieve
accident?
something and bring it back with your knees or something?
Could you catch a brick with your
I don't know
knees?
if that translates to.
I don't want to put
No.
them in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We'll go with the lighter for right
We'll
now.
go with the lighter for right
We'll
now.
go with the lighter.
Nick, while we're waiting for a lighter, do you mind if I ask LD a question?
Ask LD a question.
Sure.
And then we're going to get Pat in here
LD
as well. 'cause
LD,
Pat
when
is
you-
actually LD's biggest fan.
LD, when you post videos, does your car insurance go up? Like, I feel like that's not something that your car insurance
Lighter.
would want to
A
see.
lighter.
A lighter.
People ask that quite frequently, and that's why I go by a nom de plume of LD. You know what I mean? I figure the car insurance company, they can't match initials to names, faces, and voices, I keep them at bay. Yeah, and by the way, as I said earlier, I'm safer with my knees than with my hands. Whenever it's snowing out or raining horribly, if somebody's in my car, I make a big show of taking my hands off the wheel and putting my knees on them until they say something about like, it's pretty bad out. Shouldn't we be careful? And I said, well, what do you think I just did?
Now, say if 10 years down the line, all cars are self-driving, is that sort of going to take away from your allure, your mystique?
You know, maybe Don Tesla's talked to LD about how to get into the handless driving ability. You know, they're actually working first on mechanical knees that they're going to put into the front of the car that's going to work the wheel itself until they eventually get to the computer system needed to just self-guide.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Now you said you had stuff in your bag.
Oh yeah, I had 3 kind of tricks. Up
Props, okay.
Oh yeah. So first and foremost, you know how like when like Rico Bosco comes onto a show, he brings out like a big antipasta spread, like a big
right.
all this food, stuff like that. So up that alley, LD brought in this.
5-hour energy.
I got this on the camera.
Thank you, LD.
So originally LD was going to bring a 5-hour energy for everyone, but the axe tends to be an hour, so we don't need 5 hours of energy. We need 1 hour each. So I figured we could kind of like pass it around.
That's
and
fair.
we each, get like 1 hour's worth from it.
Yeah,
so.
let's all get a little
Hell
swig
yeah.
going on.
Here, Sass, why don't you bust that open and pass it around?
right.
I'll show you what else I got. So then secondly, LD loves a good fake big league, a faux big league, if you will, big leaguing someone. And the key to a good big league is that you have to pick the right target. If I came in here and I tried to pretend like I was better than Owen, it might come off like I genuinely think I'm better than Owen and I'm just a dickhead. You know what I mean? So Daniel Katz.
Thanks, LD.
There's a guy, big superstar around these parts. No way that he could possibly think I think I'm better than him. Not in the office today. I brought him this autographed 8x10 glossy headshot. It is in black and white. And I engraved it to Daniel. Sorry I missed you. Keep it up, kid. LLDD, and I was going to leave that on his desk.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that. You're 100% going to have to do that.
And then for my last bit of prop here, I've got this special shirt that shows me and KB as Jules and Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction.
Oh
So
my
there
god.
you go. For those of you who don't know, I tried to convince KB a while back that he needed a comedy partner, a duo, a partner in crime, if you will. And I pitched him all of that maybe 3 days before Nick started working at Barstool, and I was like, damn it, I guess I had an idea, but it just got beaten to it. So I was actually going to give this shirt to Nick. It is an extra large. I know the way you wear it.
I'm an XL man.
Might take it right off
Now,
my back. And
is
give
it
to you
problematic
later.
that KB's black-handing in that photo?
Now I thought it might be problematic for me to white hand.
It would be
Samuel.
more problematic.
It would be problematic.
I wanted to keep some bit of the original,
I
Unbelievable.
love that.
Thank you.
Incredible.
I thought that was a nice shirt.
Okay.
Incredible work.
The lighter has arrived.
The lighter has arrived. If you want to, do we have a candle? Do we have a cigarette?
Well, get a cigarette would be good, but I do have to take my shoes off for this. So
Sure.
obviously, if you're using your toes.
Fortunately,
so give me
don't
a
have a
minute.
hoon. Does anybody still smoke cigs? Mikey podcasts.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can
I'm sure he
go-
loves me.
I can obtain
Yeah,
one.
go get a
saying
cigarette.
that.
He's just going to. His mom watches the show. Kyle's just going to reach into his pocket out there and pull out a cigarette.
Today when I got the text that LD was in the office, I'll come clean. I thought it was Larry David, and I instantly ordered an Uber here.
You thought it was Larry David.
I'm so sorry, Sass.
No, this
This
might
we
even
would
be better.
refer to Larry David as
As
LD.
LD.
Yeah,
I think a
LD,
lot of people
LD's swinging
refer
into
to
the
Larry
act
David
today.
as LD.
Roan and Big Cat are out, but we got Larry David in.
No, I
Yeah.
saw LD is in the office. He's sitting in the lobby, and I was like, "Oh my God, Larry David's in the lobby." I was like, maybe he's going on KFC radio or something. And instantly, I ordered the Uber, and as soon as I got here, I was like, "Larry David's not here." I was like, "I don't know why the fuck I thought that
You
he
were
would be
already
here."
writing the cameos on season 14 of Curb.
Now, KB, when I got here, I texted him that I was here, and he was at his apartment, so I just had like a moment of horror as I tried to gesture to Ebony to let me in, and just assumed that she thought I was some random guy off the street who was trying to hand his resume in the side of a slice of cake or something like that.
I don't think we get those anymore. Since COVID, those have been cut in half.
Yeah.
Now, LD, you almost got a haircut before this appearance.
I have a wedding in 2.5 weeks to go to, and I need to get a little bit of a trim for the wedding, and I just knew I had to come in here with the hair out. You know what I mean? I can't come in here looking so orderly. I'm more of a Seth Rogen type than a Timothy Chalamet type, you know? So
Timothy Chalamet has longer hair than Seth Rogen.
Sure, but I just mean my presentation, I'm an everyman. You know, I'm a big schleppy, you know, goofy kind of guy. I'm not coming in here with a suit and tie on.
You're Wisconsin 8, let's not forget.
That is true. It
You
does
look like you
depend
could
where
be
I am.
Nick's older brother almost.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
grungy older brother.
Yeah,
See
it
a
works.
little bit. He's got more facial hair.
You look like the older brother in a lot of sitcoms.
Right. Yes.
Like,
No, I have a type, you know, older brother, guy in a Letterman jacket who just kind of gives like an all right, like
in
you
a
know.
movie.
Yeah.
That was a good all right.
All right. I'm gonna have
KB,
to
will
leave.
you be smoking the cigarette?
I'll smoke it.
I could take a puff.
Donnie, that's Donnie's brand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like kind of get over here and sit down.
Is that
Oh,
a
you took
Virginia
both shoes
Slim?
off.
That's a long.
Donnie.
I need
Is
to see this.
he wearing sponsored pants?
No, Owen gave him a sticker.
Oh, I see.
Alright, so lighters on the ground.
This is just Donnie smoking a cigarette. That's what this segment's called.
Do we have this on camera? We got it.
We're good. We're good.
Okay. So
Devlin's in here. Hi, Devlin.
I want to see it too.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's doing it.
Oh.
That's happening.
And we're watching this now. Nicely smoked.
Now we're just in a
That
room
was
with a
just
cigarette.
way too easy too.
Now I just got to get my socks and shoes back.
Third try.
I'm gonna put out this cigarette.
Wait, does he take one more rip before he puts it out?
Oh, he's fiending, yeah.
No, we're gonna see if you take one more rip.
All right, I guess I got to put out this comedy cigarette I don't want.
Oh, that's a good comparison. You look like the antagonist from the movie Brink.
I got that. That's the most popular response that I got from like the initial knee driving video, and I respect that. Before that, the only comparison I ever got, looks wise, was to Dog the Bounty Hunter, which is fine from like he's an okay guy. Don't want to look like the guy, I don't think. At least not at my age.
You look like Rocky
He's dead.
Dennis if he was just fine.
Yeah, healthy.
That can be a compliment, I think.
Definitely.
No,
I mean,
that-
I really thought you were Bailey Carlin at first.
Oh,
Just
that-
like jacked, like just like way bigger. And then
Compliment.
You don't actually look like Bailey Carlin at all. I think it's just the hair.
It's a hair. It's a hair thing.
The hair dominates when you got hair this
Yeah,
long and
yeah.
wild. It's the first thing people notice about you.
So LD is a polarizing figure, whether it was growing up in high school or around his community.
Mm-hmm.
You got bullied.
Yes. Oh, no. God damn it. No, there was a kid who sat behind me.
I wasn't even going to say that.
No,
I was
no.
just talking about the Twitter guy. But,
Oh.
but you can say whatever.
Which Twitter guy are we talking? Oh no. There's a funny thing that happens online when you drive with your knees. People get very excited, and they remember you. And you know, LD's no clout chasing type. You know what I mean? Hand up, I might take a picture of the Barstool logo before I leave.
Perfectly
Throw it on my
fine.
personal Instagram with the caption, "Just here to get to the bottom of Alex versus Sophia," and let the DMs come sliding in.
Yeah,
But
smart move.
regardless,
A lot of
like.
people have been at their bottoms.
You know, like this guy, a lot of people would tweet at me whenever Kyle retweets me, and they'll like be like, "Oh my god, holy shit. I haven't been able to sleep at night. LD the knee driver, as I live and breathe like a mirage in front of me. I needed more of his content." And then they just don't follow you. And it's a confusing thing. This one guy, though, he responded and he was like, "Oh, like, if this was a guy that was willing to drive KB down to Miami, he sure got his comeuppance now." Not the proper use of the word comeuppance. But then he was like, "LD, if you stick to this, if you just keep trying your hardest, one day I bet you'll end up on, like, Good Morning America driving with your knees."
I'm just like, 30-second segment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you
like,
took that as a backhanded compliment.
yeah, you know,
certainly
I
is.
got a little bit better things ahead of me than that. You know, MTV might be interested in a TV
Ridiculousness.
show. Yeah, there you go.
You
Yeah,
get hit
yeah.
on that.
That's the
That is
pinnacle.
true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better. Me, Nick Cannon, who's the host?
Rob Deerdeck.
Rob Deerdeck, and like a random,
Chanel West
Chelsea
Coast.
Dudley.
Chelsea Dudley.
and then like a guy that was big on Vine will be the other guest or something like that. Me and King Batch. KB.
We're on the
Look
same
it up.
page.
Fuck.
Curtis before.
So you've been doing S-turns, U-turns. It started off as simple. You said your first knee drive was to a Red Robin down the street.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You said it was your white whale.
Yeah, shout out to my friend Eric Leonard. There was a Red Robin near the Cherry Hill Mall. I wish that Roan was here because he'd know some of these landmarks. But big mall near us, about 20 minutes away. At this point, LD's impressed a couple boys and broads in his car by turning into a neighborhood here and there. But this was really when I knew that I might have something special in me, and I knew for a fact that I could make it to this Red Robin knees only. And you're cutting through Route 38. You got traffic lights to deal with. It's a little that trip was when I invented my famous pre-turn. When you're at a red light or at a stoplight and you turn the wheel with your knees before you go, and then you just let it rip. See, I'm an innovator. But yeah, I made my claim that I could make it to the Red Robin and back, and I wasn't going to be denied. I trained, I concentrated, I made a vision board, and eventually I got my bottomless fries and my onion tower ring, and I wouldn't. To be damned, it was one of the highlights of my life.
Yeah.
Wait, what were the obstacles to get to Red Robin? What made them
Route 38.
Yeah, Route 38. There you go. You got
a
a
big
lot.
route.
Yeah, it's a big route. A lot of red lights. A lot of
Jug
turns.
handles.
We're in New Jersey. You got to do the jug handle. The jug handle's a tricky bit of driving, even for those using their hands.
And what do you drive?
I drive a Honda Ridgeline currently.
Okay. And have you knee driven in other vehicles?
Yep. I've knee driven in stuff as fancy as an Audi and as small as a Mini Cooper.
Okay.
It's truly a passion of mine to get into somebody's cars, to roll up the shorts, and to just let the knees touch the wheel.
You got to roll up the shorts.
Sometimes, you want to make sure you got skin contact. I kind of dress like it's 2004 still sometimes when it comes to short length.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Certain guys are above the knees. Some guys are below the knees. LD's a below the knee short guy. It's just what you
Juwan
are.
Howard.
Yep.
type.
There you go. Perfect comparison.
Now you're a size 15 foot.
Yes. Size 15 sneaker.
Me too,
What,
brother.
and what is the conundrum that comes with that?
Well, I was telling you this earlier, KB, and
You were.
God forbid this makes LD sound self-conscious or worried about anything, but there's a lot of pressure on your dick size when you've got a size 15 sneaker. And the problem that I pointed out, because, obviously when you say that, somebody says like, oh, well, as long as you live up to it, what do you have to be worried about? But
Why do they say it like that?
They're talking about his dick.
yeah, because,
Oh,
that-
yeah, they're talking about your
That
dick.
sounded like a man's voice.
LD does not judge, LD respects hot regardless of gender.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
But, somebody will say that to you, and it's just like, the idea, though, is that if I did not have my shoe size on the record and I just whipped out little D, that's gonna excite somebody, Whereas now, if you whip that thing out, they have expectations. It's very similar to what Ariana Grande did to Pete Davidson.
Very much.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're raising expectations.
Your feet are your
It's a
Ariana
grande.
Grande.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I call them sometimes. my
Size
grandays.
11, perhaps. A size 13, probably. A size 15,
Yeah.
It better be.
It's gotta be a hog.
Size
guaranteed
15
almost.
and thick too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really thick, though.
Are you 15?
Oh, I'm 15, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a very narrow penis. You look like a thick guy everywhere, though. You look girthy.
I'm a girthy man. I'm certainly not gonna. LD can either be jacked or he can be fat. He could never really be like skinny. You know what I mean?
And LD underwent significant weight loss.
Oh yeah. I
I've seen
lost
some pictures of you. You were a fat boy.
Yeah, lost. See,
Very fat boy.
You have a lot of face.
Well, here's what it is, Brandon Walker. Me and you have very similar diets. LD also is a big time hold the greens on the side kind of guy.
Correct,
You know what I
yes.
mean? A lot of fast food and stuff. So for a while, I was fine with it. And then I started drinking, getting towards college that time, and that combined with the fried food did not handle itself that well. But LD is sort of a crazy person.
Do we know how old you are?
I'm
We don't.
26.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Should I have been mysterious about?
Well, I was going
that?
to do a guessing game, but you fucked it all up. For
Damn it!
everybody.
I'm sorry. I should have remembered. I'm performing.
I
That's
would
my
have
fault.
guessed. I would have guessed 26.
All right. Hey, you
Right.
got it, man.
Spot on.
Yeah,
Spot
thank
on.
you. Appreciate it.
But yeah, like I said, I'm a crazy person, so I haven't changed my diet at all. I just eat terribly and run 3 miles a day and do like 400 push-ups. But then I got hit by a
Wow.
car, and then I was just gaining weight, so
400.
that sucked.
What kind of pussy you been getting into?
Not the most when you're kind of stranded right now, because I've been living at home with my parents. I meant since Corona started. I moved home for a few months, thinking, this isn't gonna last that long, and then I couldn't like walk up and down the stairs for a few months. So then I was like, guess I'm staying here longer. So I'm almost like fully cleared with all the health stuff from the car hitting. So I'm gonna
The SUV.
Yeah, the SUV.
They never caught the guy.
No, they did. LD is going to have his day of justice. It's a little controversial when you want to represent yourself in court.
We're talking about a little cash.
You're
here?
representing
is there gonna
yourself.
be a payday?
That's what I'm trying to do. But what
Ted
are you gonna
Bundy.
do?
I mean, this seems like a pretty open and shut case on your end. You got hit by a car.
No brake
Yes.
marks.
You should
No
talk to
break
Liz.
Why don't you get a? Why don't
Yeah,
you?
is Liz here?
She's the wily
Because
vet.
still
Liz
out.
got hit
That.
by a car. I think she turned it into a little something.
Ooh,
She
I might have
she got
to.
hit.
Might have to peruse around later and pick Liz's brain, see what she's got.
Yeah.
I like that.
But don't you think you should get an attorney?
LD thinks of himself as a tremendous. Here's what I would always say. Now, Nick, if you were in legal trouble, by all means, get an attorney. But if for some reason you were in some sort of kangaroo court situation where they said to you, Nick, you have to be legally represented by somebody who is not trained at all in law, LD's your guy.
But
that a
why would
thing?
that happen?
Is
I
that a
don't-
thing?
In what world would that happen?
You got hit by a car.
Yes.
You're going to be in an actual court. There will
Yeah.
not be any kangaroos at all.
This is
No.
again an open and shut case.
Well, yeah, but so then why do I need an attorney?
You could fuck this up.
Right.
You
You might not be able to open it.
You might end up going to prison.
Sure.
You will go to prison for something.
Something.
It would be a shame if they unveiled video after video of me recklessly driving with my knees as evidence to the court of law. But what are you going to do?
They pull up this clip of the yak.
Yeah. Well, that's again, as I said earlier, I walked when it happened. I wasn't driving. So the two things are very separate.
Huh.
Yeah.
Donnie's here today.
Mhm.
Hi,
Donald.
Donnie.
Hey,
Donnie.
how's it going?
Donnie, you had a video come out yesterday.
Yes, Pablo's cocaine hippos. I got to see a few of those. Didn't get to swim with them this time, but I got close.
Are your hippo mode shirts still in the store?
No, we got a C&D from Patagonia.
You
so,
said they said it was a record C&D.
yeah, in
What, like,
record
it's
time.
fast, like
yeah,
quick?
probably within like 4 hours of putting it up. But we managed to sell a solid amount before then. So if you did buy one of those, you have one of only 300 in existence.
Piece
Rare.
of history.
Yeah, pat yourself on the back.
And we're going you're going right from the Columbia videos to 3 days from now. We got a little something.
A little something
Well,
cooking.
something, huh?
A little something. The next
Monday.
Rediscovering America video.
We're looking at a 30-minute video.
But it is TV show quality.
Is
Oh,
this
yeah.
Better.
Is
Dare
this
I
a
say movie
series or is
quality?
it all
Movie.
in one?
All in one.
Okay.
There's going to be 4 more vids, but each trip is just one video. And I mean, there is some shit in that video that's weirder than the majority of whoa, that's weird videos I've done around the world.
The
That's
last
it.
trip you guys took, Nick had a knife pulled on him.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
there something similar here? Is this what we're talking
KB
about?
was seduced by an octogenarian and brought into her RV. He came out wearing her clothes.
As
Oh.
one does.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's not the first
Kyle,
time
what
KB's done
happened?
it.
What happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
What happened in the RV?
What? No.
What happened in the RV?
I don't. I looked at the footage. I don't look guilty.
Well, are
guilty,
you guilty
of what?
Anything. Well, you'll see it in the video. I went into an RV. There's a woman owned it.
It's actually hilarious.
How
the
old
video
was
is
she?
fucking hilarious.
What?
How old was she?
She was from Michigan, so probably 38.
Is the median age there?
That is, but you look much older. It weathers you there.
Well, their diet is beef-filled,
Beef-filled
Pasties.
fried
beef-filled
cod,
pasties. Yeah, they have this dish called pasties,
tartar sauce.
which is
It's like a hot
Calzone?
pocket.
it's a big soft hot pocket with beef and onion. And then I ordered the pasty ranchero,
Mm.
and
There's
got peppers in that
pasty
bitch?
it was the
stroganoff.
same exact thing except they put salsa on the top. So the innards were it was just I fucked up.
And then just like half a pint of sour cream.
Yeah.
It's like a meat pie, which are big in the UK, but it's good. A pasty.
I didn't know Detroit had like specialty
Oh,
foods.
we
Oh,
weren't
we
in
weren't.
Detroit.
We weren't in-
Oh,
no.
We were
Michigan.
way up there.
Once you
Excuse me.
In
go
the
past
UP.
Saginaw, you're
Mhm.
in that northern Michigan.
Is it very
Yeah.
Completely
Nordic?
different culture. I think there are a lot
Did
of
you go into the
Swedes and Finnish.
We did meet a friend named Klaus.
Mm-hmm.
He was Swiss.
That's
though.
Swiss, yeah.
So you did go in the Upper Peninsula area?
All
Yeah.
over it. Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, in Sweden, they got a bunch of people like greasers that we had in America, but they trick out Volvos and they just drive around blasting house music.
I love
could
that.
see that.
Sounds
That's
awesome.
That's where-
I love that.
You're gonna escape to. That's your new retirement plan.
I thought, yeah, Sweden, Finland, not Finland, Sweden or Norway would work for me.
There you go.
Netherlands,
What's wrong with Finland?
Denmark.
Yeah.
Too many saunas.
Oh, I love a good
They
sauna.
do that for.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
They have
you would
more
fit in well.
They have like
I feel like you'd love a sauna.
saunas per household. They have like 1.4.
You would never use one, but that would be your excuse for being damp all the
Yeah,
time.
that
in
would
the red.
help. That would help.
You would be the least damp out of all of them.
They don't sweat though.
You don't
That's
think
the
you would
thing.
get damper because of the access to saunas now?
They're always fresh out of a sauna.
They are, but he's damp now. If he went to a sauna-filled world, he would be even more damp.
He
than is
wouldn't have
now.
to sauna.
You also
he's
like
saying he could
saunas.
use the
No, I
sauna as
don't.
like a beer.
Yes, you do.
city.
I
We went
don't
in a-
understand
we
the
went in a
appeal
sauna
of
in Michigan, and
saunas.
you were scraping
Yeah.
your
Steven
skin
J
with
has
I
a
didn't
sauna in
enjoy
his
that.
house.
That was out of
It's a nice
habit.
Yeah, he
sweat.
does. He uses the sauna at the Holiday Inn Express in Mackinac.
We
Maxes
walked
out
in.
at like 65 degrees.
Yeah. So it was 65 degrees. Me and Nick walk in. There's 3 like 10-year-olds in there.
Just chilling.
And
Just-
it's-
one of them was smoking a
There always
cigarette.
is.
And within like I think 30 seconds of us walking in, the 10-year-olds just like found some excuse to leave. They were just like, "Yeah, oh, we need to go check on that thing," and then just left. I don't blame them. It was very intimidating, I'm sure, when you're 10 and
Yeah, I remember when I was little, I used to go
And
into
we
the sauna,
walk
there'd
in.
always be
You
old
walk
men in it.
in. Yeah.
Instantly leave.
Yeah,
how
that-
much of the video can we tease? Should we tease certain things that we did, or just leave it open-ended?
What can we?
I don't know.
tease?
Are we gonna tease?
Comes out Monday. What can we tease?
Yeah, so hopefully it comes out Monday. I mean, no, I think it will. We are going to send it to the sponsor today, and then they're going to let us know if we have to
We
change
might have to cut
some
some
things.
lines, some scenes.
Maybe not.
Hopefully not.
We'll see. But yeah, shout out Labatt. They were cool.
Mhm.
What
They-
what
they
what is
made it all
one
possible.
what is one thing we can tease?
I will say this: the man that we met in Marquette, should we say is
The Aquaman.
The Aquaman.
Dan, the Icebeard guy, he exceeded the hype by 1,000, and he has a Vice documentary on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave us a lot more than he gave them.
Oh yeah, he's gonna.
A maniac in the best way.
Yeah, we were a little concerned at first because we asked, we're like, "Hey, do you want to be in our video?" And he was like, "Well, how much are you paying? I guess I have to talk to my agent." We were like,
I was like, this
okay.
guy's he's gonna be a smug.
Damn
cunt.
near certain his agent is his roommate.
Yeah.
it was.
Wait, they have agents for sideshow oddities?
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
You would actually get along very well with Aquaman Dan.
I'm pretty good if you drop me into an environment. I can wiggle my way out, you know?
You adapt.
Yeah, that's what you got to do sometimes.
So, do you afraid you're being pigeonholed? Like Owen said, you'd be a perfect match for an armless woman.
Yeah, no, that is something that worries me sometimes because I do have arms, you know? And while I respect the people who are painting pictures with their feet when they don't have any arms, you know, that's just not LD. LD loves to throw a football, you know what I mean? He loves to hold somebody's hand on a warm summer day. So I just, you know, LD likes to be seen as a fully functioning human being first and foremost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
There you have it.
That was beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I think that's a respectable request.
Yeah. How you doing, Lil Sass? What are you
Sassy,
up
we gotta
to?
get a Sass
I'm good.
update.
Yeah, let's get
I'm,
Sass up
Been
there.
in the Iron Dungeon.
Yeah, I was in the Iron Paradise last night. Last one to leave. They gave me the flicker of the lights.
Hey.
You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Last call.
Yeah. And then I walked home through Times Square. Square.
Did you talk about seeing a dead body yesterday?
No, I haven't talked about that on the
Do you want to bring that up?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say other than there was an extremely dead person on the sidewalk.
Oh.
And
How do you know they were dead?
nothing has ever been more dead than this person.
They were decapitated.
They may as well have been.
Oh, okay.
They were there. Was it backwards?
Their head was
Oh no.
like snap. It was pretty much. I think it was snapped, and then their arms were like this way, and their legs were like in like a split. Like it was not a position that anyone could possibly be in by just like simply falling over. they had to have been dropped or
no.
jumped off of something very high. And then I looked
For
up
some
at the
reason, I
building
thought this
above.
would be funnier, but this
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is morbid.
I'm,
And
so- I'm
then-
sorry you saw that. I
Yeah, no, I would
feel
that would be
really bad you've
traumatizing.
seen that.
Yeah, and then it was kind of just like everyone was just like walking up to the guy and then like looking and then just like walking away. 'cause it's
Well,
like,
we had a talk
what are
on
you
our
gonna do?
trip. Corey was asking how many dead people you think you've seen.
Yeah.
He said
New
he
York,
thinks he
yeah.
sees
Or walked
10
past
10 a
unknowingly.
year.
10 a year is way
don't
too
think.
many.
I thought I saw one before that, but this was dead. Like like this guy was dead.
Yeah.
I think like 5 a day within 24 hours of dying.
No
But
Oh yeah,
way,
I think so,
dude.
No, I think
No.
that's 100% true.
Pat, welcome.
Do you think you see 5 people that are about to die every day?
Oh,
Yeah.
especially where our office is. Yes.
Define about to die. Like
You
maybe
walk by people
little
and I'm like,
lung
that
cancer,
guy
couple
has
months?
maybe 2 hours.
I
left.
think,
Yeah.
I think the
They have
number
10
is.
lives.
I think it's 80. This has been the highest number of homeless deaths in 2020, and it was at like 112.
Jeez.
Oh, that's not that many.
Not that many.
Yeah, I would have expected.
That
Especially in
doesn't
the time
make
of
sense.
COVID.
Only 112 homeless
That's
people died
in New York
an-
City.
An uplifting fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people die?
That can't be
You know,
right.
at the mall every day. Like that sounds pretty
Like
good.
112.
Well,
that
yeah,
can't be right. That cannot be right.
I promise
Only
you,
112
he's right.
homeless
We looked
people
it up.
died in 2020 in New York.
Like they had to find. That was the how many corpses they've picked up and buried, I believe.
There's got to be
Yeah.
some unrecorded deaths.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
I mean, they don't look for homeless people when they die.
Yeah.
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 I feel like when you're on
Happy to be
crack,
Pat,
as long
welcome.
as you can always get more crack, you're fine.
Yeah.
And the homeless people don't need a lot, and the crack just keeps them going.
I could
Yeah.
see that.
Well,
But,
then if
yeah,
that's if
if
that
you-
number is true, then I would say you probably only walk by. You would walk by 0 people who are about to die.
Statistically, yeah. If that number is factual.
Like 0.3.
New York's a big city. A lot of land.
Yeah.
People
A
think
lot
you can
of
just
people.
run into somebody that you know in New York City. That's not going to happen.
No.
Oh,
It
it
happened
did
to
this
you
morning.
and Kyle this morning.
That is true. Besides
wasn't
for
a
that,
planned
that was
thing.
more magical, you know?
What?
This wasn't planned. You just saw
I
him
ran
on the
into
street.
him.
Yeah, we just bumped
and
into
I was
each
like,
other.
you should
Oh, I
come on
thought
the
you-
yak.
You made like a trip of this.
No,
No.
you know, I came up to Hoboken, wanted to pay some tribute to Baby Blue, Frank Sinatra, you know. Came into the city, had to get a New York bagel. Wasn't going to get a
Typical Friday
Hoboken bagel,
bagel, yeah.
you know.
How was it?
Average.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
that's how
know,
they
it was,
usually
it was solid.
So you're
What's-
from South Jersey? Oh,
No,
right. You wanna go?
What's next on your plate?
you know, might just kind of do some general wandering of the city, see where the wind takes me, that sort of thing, you know.
Go. You should go to Central Park.
Oh,
Super
yeah?
nice out today.
Oh, that's an idea. I've heard of that place. I think it might be a little interesting to check out, you know.
should skip right through Times Square though, because that is the worst place in the entire world,
Yeah.
and I've
You hate
never
it.
hated
New
anything
Yorker.
more.
He's a New Yorker.
Hey.
All right.
Dude,
I'm
there
walking here, little sass.
Wait,
Now-
you probably already covered this, but what do you do for work? I'm
Uh,
a big fan of your videos. That's why I was like very eager to get in here when the show started. That
Thank you.
Brandon.
You know him. I do like film production. I'm a
Yeah.
production
Okay.
assistant stuff. Sometimes I do some
Gotcha.
like freelance advertising, writing stuff like that. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you
Owen
like
was the production assistant on our last trip, and I think he got demoted. So
Ooh,
yeah.
Owen.
Did you get demoted?
What happened
we
there?
might.
I
we
would
might
imagine I'm
need
fired.
a
Yeah.
PA.
Why? What happened?
By
It doesn't
Corey?
seem
He
like
fell
I'll be
asleep at the
invited
wheel.
back.
Oh, that's
At the wheel.
tough. That's
Yeah.
LD's an insomniac, so on top of knee driving, he would have been a perfect driver. But you know, Owen, if I remember the story right, you can only sleep in the front seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, so that's fair.
Well, I
You-
can't sleep in the backseat.
Can't
Yeah.
sleep in the back seat.
So you got to have some catch some Z's on the ride. As long as it was on a straight road, what's the worst that can happen? You go into a snowbank.
Is there a Mrs. LD?
No, not right now. Believe it or not, women don't love the whole knee driving thing as much
Do
as
you do like
guys.
the?
Into
Do you?
that?
Do you do that on a first date? Or
No.
You know, well, when you're as recognizable as LD as, when you've built up the profile that I have, you know, it can be a little. I actually did. I've only ever been recognized one time, and it was at a bar. It was right
today.
before COVID. 2 times then, and a man very insistently tried to get me to knee drive for him, and I was explaining to him that we're at a bar, and that the law is not that you can't drive when drinking with your hands, is you can't drive at all. Like, I can't just explain to the guy, well, Your Honor, I was using my knees. Like, if anything, that's going to result in a worse deal. That's going to be evidence that I was drinking and driving. You know, this guy just did not want to hear it.
Yeah. Well.
Pat?
That's a good point.
Pat-
What's on your shirt? Is that a picture of you?
It's a picture of me and
Oh,
KB
and
as
me.
Jules
Okay.
Jules and Vincent from Pulp Fiction. I keep getting tripped up on.
Doesn't
Vincent's
LD
name.
look like Greer?
little bit like
I
Greer.
just texted Greer
Yep.
to come down here.
Yeah,
there you
A
go.
little bit, yeah.
A little side by side.
Now, this is the most starstruck I've ever seen you.
I had LD started talking to me at my. I'm gonna start laughing talking about it now. LD started talking to me at my desk, and I had to like turn my head away. It was just too much for me to
It
handle.
was over, yeah.
It was literally too much for me to handle. We have people in here all the time. You may be the biggest celebrity that,
Yeah.
And
in
here
my
I
mind, that I've ever met.
and here I felt bad because Lil Sasquatch thought that Larry David was walking in the office, and I
Little
thought I was.
Sass LD was Larry.
Well, you were
David.
talking so loudly, you kind of commanded the room.
Oh,
you were
he
talking
does.
about peeing in a water bottle, like
Yeah.
right in front of the CEO of the company.
Yeah, she was in a meeting.
Okay, yeah, my voice does carry. It's something I don't try to be obnoxious. See, that's another point of contention with LD. There's a certain type of guy who thinks that being funny is just being loud. You know, sorry to anyone's eardrums, but
yeah.
and LD used to get shoehorned in with that group like in high school. So LD is the funny, obnoxious guy. No, LD is the funny guy who happens to be obnoxious. If if I could Little Mermaid myself and get this voice locked up, I'm in because it penetrates walls. The noise complaints, the amount of fines I had to pay in college was staggering. You know, but
Fines for what?
noise complaint. I had a
For talking.
I had a rivalry with these girls in the dorms across the hall. Anytime they went out, they had to listen to Shots by LMFAO beforehand. It was 2015, so it was only 8 years late at the time. But like they had to play it as loud as possible. Like lemon drops, kamikaze, like just blasting it, you know? And one time I said to them, hey girls, like, you really need to be blasting Shots every time you go out. And they said, we hear you every time that you talk to anyone. Xbox Live, on the phone, your roommate. Like, if you talk, we hear it. And I was like, they got me there. There's nothing I can do about that. You know?
Yeah, you have to handle a little LMFAO every once in a while.
Yeah, that's what I dealt
What does
with.
LD like to listen to for music?
A little bit of Pink Floyd, a little bit of the Beatles. I don't know if you could tell by my hair, but I'm a little bit of a classic rock guy.
Yeah.
I just want to get a
Nirvana?
picture of you and Greer together.
Sure.
If you don't
Hey, I
mind.
could get
This
into
is
some Nirvana.
Michael Greer.
Could you go stand next to him, Greer, so we can get a picture?
What up, Greer?
Just really quick. I just
They
wanted to
do.
do
Oh
this.
wow.
This is for take the hat
Yeah,
off.
he's
Greer, hat
fucking-
off. Hat
he's
off, please.
Greer's older.
Oh no!
Hey, right here, right
Holy
here. Smile.
shit.
One,
Oh, my
two,
God.
three. Beautiful. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're just like a wider Greer.
Isn't that crazy? I can't believe no one thought of that. Sorry to pull you
That's
away
good.
from your
Yeah.
data stuff, Greer.
He said
Fake
he
work
didn't say it
classic.
into the mic. He said he was very
Let's get
busy.
Bailey Carlin in that too.
He's very upset with Pat right now.
I think you guys look great together. You
Thank
could make
you.
a cute couple. Even.
Yeah, you guys could be Hanson.
Yeah, I said earlier, LD respects hot regardless of gender. You know, you just gotta.
Who's the hottest on the yak?
Ooh, I mean, if Caleb's here, come on, I'm not gonna. You know, what am I gonna say?
What are you gonna say?
What are you
What
gonna say?
the fuck are you gonna say?
What the fuck are you gonna say?
But I mean, Owen might be too.
Yeah, Owen has heartthrob
You're an
potential.
Owen guy?
Yeah, look at. I'm Team Owen. I got to admit.
Now,
you know.
Che said the average ranking of man on the yak was what? 8'2"?
Including himself, and
Including
he
himself.
raised
8'2"?
that. He
Is it like Zac Efron is an 8'2"?
What?
What are we talking about here?
I feel like in
Efron's
general,
definitely
men
higher
just
than
aren't
an
that.
8'2".
we're
Out of
not
everyone in
no,
the
you're
world,
right.
like-
we're not.
Zac Efron's a
We're
perfect
not.
10.
Zac Efron's
Zac-
10.
He's a
Okay.
nine.
He's
He's a 9'4".
He's a
in the
9'4".
He is
I'll give
short.
him a
Well,
9'4".
who's a 10 if Zac Efron's 9'4"?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, probably.
Idris
No,
Elba.
I don't-
Bad Mamma Jamma. He's a
Shaq.
cool dude.
Shaq?
No, I don't know.
Shaq.
No, there are no 10s because like 10 is just unattainable.
I agree.
God is
I
a
like
10.
that.
Jesus
God's a
Christ
10.
is a
There you
10.
go.
Mm.
So that's
Maybe
like your-
Gandhi?
That's is God your celebrity crush?
God is my Christ is my celebrity crush. What religion are you, LD?
Gandhi.
Believe it or not, you know, LD was
He's a
raised
Nepalese
Catholic.
god.
LD just, you know, he's a pretty good dude. That's another thing. LD one time got drawn into the college he went to, Santa Barbara City College, not UCSB.
A cult.
I almost got dragged into a cult. There's this big party street on my block called DP, Del Playa Point, not double penetration. And and it would just be house party after house party after house party. And there would always be these Christians out there with like their big crosses, which is weird because when you think big crosses, you think of like the KKK. Why are you walking around with a cross that big? It was a little intimidating. But
Yeah.
and they would just hand out water to drunk kids and be like, just, you know, Christ, stop drinking, you know. And one time, I just sat down with one of them while I was wasted. And I was determined to get this man to tell me that I could get into heaven without, like if I was just a pretty chill dude, and he was having none of it. And 2 weeks later, I walked by the Home Depot that he apparently worked at. This guy recognized me clear as day because he was sober as a stick when I saw him, and I had no idea who he was. You ever get in one of those like where you just cannot recognize somebody? That is so bad. I literally realized it 3 weeks later. But yeah, he never gave it up to me. He never gave me the gate to. I would literally be like, well, I donate $15,000 a year to charity. That's not true, but he didn't know that. And he would just be like, yeah, man, but if you're not in church on Sunday, you're going to burn for all eternity. And I was like, oh, this is unfortunate.
It's a bummer.
That's the problem with the recruitment. They got to be, you know.
And for somebody who's as near death as much as you.
Yeah. You think I'd worry about it more.
You think you would.
Yeah. When I fell down that fire escape, there was definitely a moment when I was in the air where I was like, holy shit, like people are going to get messages in the morning. LD dead.
Yeah, but so
No, that was 3 flights.
You were in the air long enough to think.
yeah, so
How are you in the air?
Yeah, so here's what I'm confused.
Do you want the story?
You're on a fire escape.
Yeah, we're good. We don't need it.
So are you going to go? Just let me guess. You're going down the fire escape to surprise some friends in a lower floor.
Going up the fire escape.
Okay.
So you were breaking into their apartment as a bit.
No, I got into their apartment and it was just one of their roommates there. None of the people that I knew. And she said like, oh, they're up on, remember these were all international people. So they were upstairs on the roof smoking cigarettes. And I went out to surprise them. And this was an old fire escape. It was like an outdated fire escape. It was not stairs. It was a giant hole. Yeah, with a ladder going down to the end. And I've lied to everyone since the story happened. I always tell them like, I don't know what happened. I tripped. Hand up, I'm admitting it here on the act for the first time 2 years into this. I'd never seen a fire escape with a hole in it. I just stepped right into that sucker. I didn't look where I was standing. I did not look where I was walking. I just went to like walk across it. I was like, oh, it's a fire escape. It's going to be a platform. My feet went into it. My chest hit the other side, and I was like Mufasa in The Lion King, where I was just clawing, trying to stay. And my lower body took the weight, and I just fell down this suck hole.
So you
my
fell
death.
down one,
Fell down the
then
suck hole.
Fell down
did you
one, hit
stop?
my back.
And then you fell down
And
the
then I
second?
fell forward from hitting my back, and I fell through the second. And then when I was falling through the third, I jammed my arm into like the ladder to stop my fall, and then I like landed on my back. It was my shin that got like really cut up, so I could see my bone. My bone wasn't broken or anything. Ooh. But like that's pretty frightening, you know. I just started to scream. I was like, "Help! Help! I've fallen!" And like I said, there was a man's window right next to me where I landed, and he just whipped his head around, and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And I didn't know how to like I just fell. Like I was, you know, I'm flustered, and I just go, I don't know, I fell. And he just pulls me into his apartment like I'm a wounded soldier. Like he drags me in, and then he goes, "Hey man, just try not to get any blood on the carpets, all right?" And it's like, what can I do? My leg was.
Did you get blood on the carpets?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Survived.
The ambulance ended up coming, made me walk the 3 flights down the stairs. They just said, hey, you're kind of a big guy. They didn't want to stretcher me down. That was a little...
They fat shamed you.
Yeah, I was a little self-conscious, you know?
That's
what started.
The last thing you hear before you die.
Yeah.
Donnie, have you almost died ever?
Yeah.
What was the closest you've been to death?
I was on a trampoline in a river in Laos. I was on a lot of shrooms, and I was jumping. There was like a safety net around the trampoline that went up around 6 feet. And I was like, yo, I'm going to do the Free Willy. So I jumped, and I was like, here it goes.
Wait,
so
what's the Free Willy?
The Free Willy, I was going to jump on the trampoline over the safety net, which goes around it, and into the river. And so I did it. I cleared the net just barely, and I go straight down, and then the water ended up only being around like 3 feet deep.
It's high on mushrooms. As he's doing this?
Yeah, so I just immediately hit the rocks on the bottom.
That seems to be a trend.
Yeah,
there's our teaser, our video. That comes
Okay,
out
yeah, we
Monday.
can tease that.
Donnie almost dies again in similar fashion.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
and it would have been worse fashion because you would also have been freezing had you not died on impact.
Yeah.
Freezing cold.
It's constantly
You're
diving
right.
into shallow
That's a
waters.
my head was, let's just
That
say
would've been
my
a
head
poor
gets
way
pretty
up.
close to rocks. But in this case, my head did hit the rocks, but then I I didn't break my neck. I kind of moved my head, and most of the impact was on my back, but I thought I was dead, actually. Like, I walked out and looked around.
Really?
I was in paradise. I went to the
Tropical
bar
laps.
because
You were
there's all
high.
these bars on the side of the river, and I was like, oh, I need help. And they just handed me a glass full of whiskey. So I
Did you
just
drink it?
I sat down and started drinking the whiskey, and I was looking around, and I was like, did I just die? Because like I was like, fuck, like I'm in paradise, everyone's having fun. And then I fell asleep and I woke up and like most people had left the river and I was just surrounded by chickens.
Didn't they used to do
You
that
fell
before they like
asleep?
amputated
Stallone
people
doing this?
too?
That-
They would
that-
just have you
that's
pound
dangerous.
whiskey.
What?
Didn't they used to do that before they
Yeah.
like amputated
Yeah.
people?
Yeah. No, that
I
would
it
say
worked.
I was
Donnie's
getting a
body.
limb
They
chopped.
they chopped his body right off.
Would have been
clear off.
great
You
if
have to take the
somebody
head off.
Sorry, we gotta
Yeah.
take your back.
it would have been great if somebody there had just ghostly or had gaslit you into thinking you had actually died.
Would have been
If
easy.
you had a buddy and they just
That's what
kept
you do.
it going.
I do that when,
Yeah.
when any of my friends are tripping. I'm just like, you're dead now. This is you're dying.
It works.
Yeah, they love it. They keep inviting me back.
Yeah.
Pat, have you almost died? Nah, you seem like a guy.
No, I did eat mushrooms with the big homie though.
Oh, how was
About a
that?
month- Oh, actually, someone on this cast was with me at the time. That
I
did
asked
that.
for I asked for a bite,
a bite,
and I didn't feel anything.
you faked it.
We went out to Korean barbecue. You guys were tripping. I was pretending to trip.
Sick. That's so
Yeah.
sick.
Sounds
Now,
fun.
I saw you on shrooms. We were at a cabin in the middle of the woods. Weird. We got invited to this lake house, which was just a trailer right on this lake, and there were a bunch of kids.
They were children.
There were a lot of
Hated
children,
that.
and the
I
thing is, we
hate-
didn't know. We thought we were going to a party. So Kyle, it was a pretty big dose of shrooms that you had, and one of the kids just ran up to you and handed you a baby doll as soon as we got there, and you held it
The
for
whole
the
time,
rest of the night.
Yeah.
And I have a photo of you. Your pupils are like this big.
Mhm.
You're just clutching this baby doll.
Hated it. Hated every second of that.
Yeah.
That was terrible. No one did it with me.
And then Roan
You tripped
called,
alone in a group of children.
Yes.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
Roan called you mid-trip and tried to convince you to buy real
Buy
estate.
real estate in Detroit.
And you agreed.
It's
a good deal.
Yeah. He
Is your
sold
word
it
your
to me.
bond?
It is.
There you go. Verbal
Yeah.
contract.
I also did shrooms at a park one time and showed up and there was tons of kids there. And it's the worst because when I had to pee, I didn't know where I could pee. I thought wherever I
Peed
would
on a
take out
kid?
my dick, there would just be 20 kids in front of me and I would be arrested. So you have no sense of like space and who can see you when you're tripping that hard. So I just like had to wander around and I had to almost dig a hole behind a bush and like put my dick in the hole. That's the only place I
I'm
felt.
sure that looked normal.
on our trip, we both had to piss very bad. I was holding it. We weren't fucked up. You just pulled out your dick and were pissing. Not a tree near you. There was just a very scenic view in front of us. Like, Donnie, you can't piss here. And you're like, why
a
not?
public park.
It was a playground.
It was.
We
There,
turned
Is this in
around.
New York?
No, this was in
Mhm.
Michigan.
there was monkey bars.
There were monkey bars.
Yeah, but it was the
Ooh.
middle of winter, so there were no kids inside.
There
So
were
you
about
couldn't
four,
see his
there were
dick?
about
Yeah, there
four
were.
tots that rolled through right
There were
after
still
you
those
shook.
monkey bars looking you dead in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Has everyone here tripped with Donnie before?
Not me.
No.
Donnie, what are you doing
we
tonight?
tripped over the summer, Don. Remember? Are we allowed to talk
Yeah,
about that?
a little bit. I don't know. I don't really know the rules of YouTube
We-
streaming.
We tripped over the summer and we caught a shark on a fishing trip. That was fun. And it could have been a
Oh.
plastic bag.
I've seen
but
that
it was
video.
a
Right?
shark.
There was a video out, right?
Yeah.
You guys were tripping during that?
Yeah.
The-
Donnie it was an early morning trip. We were out at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, no, that video we weren't, but we did. We went on another fishing trip.
You and
We didn't make a video.
I saw you tripping once.
Every time I'm around Donnie, I'm
you were
just
you
tripping.
were alone on a picnic table out in front of a chicken. We lived by each other, and it was a chicken tender place. You were just you were just like, yeah, I'm tripping right now.
Yeah, no, I
That,
like
made, that kind of made him.
my
sound
favorite
bad,
pastime is taking like a half tab of acid and just walking. That's so much fun. Yeah, just walking around the city.
The only time I've ever tripped, it started in a location where the homeowner had a husky that was having puppies. I was led to believe, oh, you want to see some husky puppies while we trip? I'm telling you, like, babies were literally sliding out of the husky, like, at the time.
Out of the pussy?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
And then an hour, 2 hours later, I'm tripping now, and I'm on the beach, and I see somebody walking a husky, and because I was tripping, my mind thought this was, like, a crazy coincidence. Like, I was like, dude, we just saw huskies. And now they're here again. Like I wrote in my phone, like I never forget. I was like, time is a linear circle. Like it all comes and goes. Like I thought seeing one of the top 5 most popular dog breeds twice in 3 hours was some sort of sign from God.
Cosmic.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, boys.
All right,
Anything else?
kids.
Pat?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I had to meet the man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you very much, Pat. It's
I
great to
saw a
meet you.
twinkle in your eye like I've
Yeah.
never seen.
I couldn't.
and we've gone to
could
gym
not-
together.
And we had gone to gym together. If you know, you know. Don't fucking laugh, Owen. Yeah, this has been a dream come true. I'm ready to go home now.
All right, happy
All right.
Friday. That was the Yak
boys.
with a ragtag hodgepodge crew.
Rediscovering America, hopefully
Monday.
or Tuesday.
Let's do a Monday at 2 maybe.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Sounds good to me.
LD, thank you for swinging by.
Thank you guys for having me. It was awesome.